everybody. Welcome to Sips and Spoilers. This is a once a month book collab with myself and Chanda from Fash Fab Beauty. Our book reviews will be posted on the last Sunday of each month. Sorry, if you heard that noise, it was my cat. So please subscribe to both channels so you get our take on the book. Also follow us on Instagram at Fash Fab Beauty and at Mountain Girl Christine. The links will be down below in the description. As we will be announcing the book that we're reading in the beginning of the month, like we did on Instagram this month, and then we will have the review on our YouTube channel on the last Sunday of each month. So, this is called Sips and Spoilers. So let's get to the sips. Okay? So, I have my tea right here, which is hot. Teapot right there, which is really hot. Anyway, let's get to the sips. The tea that I'm sipping is from PLUMDeluxe.com. It's a monthly subscription for $12. You can choose no caffeine tea, caffeinated tea only, or both. A mixture of both. It's $12 a month. It's free shipping. You get a hand-picked seasonal tea of the month, enough for 15 to 20 cups, and a one serving size sample tea. And like I said, you can set it up no caffeine, or both. A mixture of both. You can go over to PLUMDeluxe.com. I will put the link down below, and I will show you. And the owner's name is Andy. And, oh, okay. We're doing that now. The owner's name is Andy, and he has his story on the website about his tea journey, which is really interesting. So far, so good. Okay, so this is how the tea came. Now, I've made 2 pots so far, and this pot holds about 6 of this size cup, but about 4 like regular teacups. It's a little dainty one. But this is what the tea looks like. It's loose leaf. So this month's tea is Cherry Lavender Spring Black. It's black tea, hibiscus, lavender, cherry essence, and it contains stone fruit. Now, because it says lavender, I was a little bit leery that it was going to taste like, I don't know, how lavender smells, like you were drinking perfume. I was a little concerned, but it does not, in my opinion. You'll have to see what Chanda thinks. But as far as I'm concerned, there's a slight floral to it, but more cherry and almost vanilla-y taste to it, to me. And a fruity. Like, you definitely taste the cherry, for sure. So, the sample tea was Parisian Pâtissier, I think is how you pronounce it, black. It comes like this. It's a little, you can do 2 cups. If you put that in a tea ball, it'll make 2 cups. I'm sure of it. It has black tea, red rooibos tea, rose petals, raspberry pieces, jasmine flowers, safflower, lychee, almond, raspberry, vanilla essences, and contains almond. Now, I have not tried this yet, but I'm sure it's good. I mean, if it's anything like the big tea, it's good. So, if you want, there's a QR code. There's the card on the back. You get a little, this is the March tea blend, even though we're filming this in April. You get a little card explaining the tea, how to brew it, other recipes. There's another chance at the QR code. So there's that. So let's get to sipping and let's get to spoiling. All right, so I have notes because, yeah, I have notes because this girl forgets. All right, so the book is The Intruder, which, where did I put it down? Right here. It is The Intruder by Freida McFadden. Looks like that. That's the hardcover. You can get it on Amazon, and I think you can get it for free on Kindle, I believe. Don't quote me on that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a... There's no sequel so far. No, there's none listed, so it is a standalone book. It is by Freida McFadden. I'm going to go ahead and give this book 5 stars right off the bat. I don't know what this light is doing. It was an easy read. It flowed really well, even though there was like back and forth between the characters. It was very easy to follow and very easy to get to know the characters the way she describes them, and easy to keep on track. Lots of plots and twists and turns, but nothing like where you have to keep going back and rereading chapters. This was, the flow was really good. So it starts out, now there is spoilers, so if you haven't read the book and want to read the book, I'm spoiling. So click off and come back when you're done reading it. It starts with Casey, a woman that's renting a rundown cabin in the woods, and a major storm is approaching. She calls her landlord out because the roof is leaking and it's in disrepair, and there's a huge giant tree beside that, like getting ready to fall. They're calling for like hurricane force winds. She calls the landlord, who really isn't concerned and can't do anything about it with the storm approaching. He's more interested in flirting with her and eyeballing her and making her feel uncomfortable. But he does promise to come back after the storm. He claims the tree will not fall and that he will fix the roof then. So obviously Casey is frustrated, and he ends up leaving, and she's just pissed off. So then it jumps to Ella, who, it took me a few chapters to realize, but I'll let you know because I'm spoiling. Ella is Casey as a teenager, approximately 13. Ella lives with her mother, who is an extreme hoarder, which makes life hard for Ella as she rarely has clean clothes. Their washing machine broke. The mother won't have it repaired because they'll see the hoarding house. She buys cases and cases of food, packs the refrigerator full. Half the stuff's expired, but she won't let Ella throw it away. She doesn't throw away any garbage. She saves every jar, every bag, every wrapper. There's a mattress on the floor used as a couch. You have to weasel your way through. So Ella hasn't had clean clothes. Now her mom was just buying new outfits every week, and but they're with no way to wash them. Clothes are starting to pile up and get stinky. So in school, the kids are picking on her, calling her smelly, so on and so forth. Now she does shower, as her mom hoards, so there's like 50 bottles of shampoo and conditioner and soap, and stocked up for the apocalypse. But so she's able to shower, but how's that helping when the towels are dirty and the clothes that you put back on are filthy because you have no way to wash them and no money to go to the laundromat, So anyway, kids pick on her at school. One of the bullies, Anton, she ends up befriending him, and they become very close, almost boyfriend and girlfriend close. They really like each other and hanging out together. Also, there's a girl named Brittany, very popular girl, but she's decent with Ella, and Ella admires her. So they do get paired up together to do some kind of class project, which goes okay. And so they're okay with each other for the most part. All right, she's a very popular girl though. So now it's back to Casey. Her neighbor Lee comes over to check on her right before the storm, offers her to stay with him. She refuses because although she describes him in the book as handsome and oddly familiar, he makes her feel a little leery and she can't quite put her finger on it. So she refuses and he goes back home. So now the storm has thrown into gear. No, we're back to Ella. Sorry. Back to Ella. Her mom catches her trying to throw some garbage away, flips out. Also, Ella had brought Anton in the house and he smoked a cigarette in there. Ella don't smoke, but Ella's mom does. So she got caught with that and gets yelled at. But her mom comes down from upstairs all dressed up, meaning she has a date, which means Ella has to be put in the closet. Her mother locks her in the closet. There's two reasons. One, so the date doesn't come across her and obviously knows she has a child immediately. Two, she's so afraid that Ella would clean something up and throw garbage away that she might need in the future, so she locks her in the closet. Anton eventually teaches Ella how to pick locks, so she's able to get out of the closet and then jump back in before her mom gets home. And he was teaching her with his little brother over at their house. His father's an alcoholic and very abusive, so they have, all these kids have got their things. The first night that she's locked in the closet on the date, there's a horrible smell in there. And it's because her mother bought peaches that were on sale. I just dropped something. And left them, hoarded them. There was no room to put them. So she shoved them in the closet and they rotted. So there's that. So back to Casey. Storm is getting, it's barreling down. She's looking out the window and happens to see a person cross her yard and into her tool shed, and she can see a little bit of a light coming from the tool shed, which is alarming because she lives way out in the middle of nowhere, and she knows it isn't Lee, so she's concerned. Is it a robber? Is it a serial killer? Whatever. So she finally works up the courage to go out to the shed, and she bursts in there, and there's a little girl, big wide-eyed little girl, covered in blood, holding a knife, has a backpack, scared out of her mind. Eventually, Casey gets her to come into the house, due to the storm. And even though she's holding a knife and Casey is fearful, she doesn't want the kid out there in case that tree falls and smashes her to smithereens. And she's going to try to figure out what Casey's story is. Or Eleanor, her name is. Eleanor's story is. So, then it switches back to Ella. One day after school, Ella was doing her homework, and when she was on her way down the hallway, she started smelling something horrible coming from her mother's bedroom, which she is forbidden to go in. So, but her mom's at work, at least for another hour or so. So she sneaks into her mom's bedroom to try to find the source of the smell. And she comes across her birth certificate and her father's name that's listed on there, as her mother would never let her know her father's name or anything about him. All she would say is he abandoned us and left us, and that's all you need to know, and has never helped them. So the name is John Carter, and it just so happens that John Carter is the name of Brittany from school, the rich popular girl from school's dad's name. It would be Dr. John Carter. So Ella begins stalking him, eventually ends up at the college where he works, confronts him. He explains to her that John Carter is a popular name and he is not her father. He insists on taking Ella home and coming into the house, which Ella doesn't want to let him in the house because it's embarrassing, but he's insisting on speaking with her mother. So she brings him into the trash-filled house. He speaks with the mother, which is embarrassing enough, and says, you really should tell the kid who her father is, blah, blah, blah. He leaves. The mom just laughs in Ella's face and calls her stupid for thinking, with such a common name, why would you think something like that? You don't need to know who your father is, yada, yada. So the next day at school, of course, Brittany overheard her dad telling her mother about the condition of Ella's house and about what Ella thought. And her friends begin picking, and they get into a fight. Anton, the boyfriend, has had enough, beats the brakes off of Brittany, and bad enough to where she needed an ambulance, and he ends up going to juvie. So, Ella, being extremely upset about Anton being taken away from her, the one person she could confide in, and the whole situation with her mother and not knowing who her father is, she finally snaps. She stacks a whole bunch of stuff on the staircase while her mom is sleeping and sets the house on fire, and the house burns down with her mother in it. And the authorities call it a tragic accident. And they end up finding her real father, and she gets shipped to her real father's house and lives with him for the remainder of her childhood. So kind of sad, right? So as for Casey, adult Casey, Lee, and the bloody teen, Eleanor, I don't know. I think I've spoiled enough. You'll just have to go read the book to find out what happens. Anyway, please like and subscribe to both channels. And until next month, I'll see you later. Bye.